Hello everyone, time for a silver stack update. I've placed 2 orders for silver bullion over the last year or so, and I'm just going to combine those into this video and show you what I've got. And as a preface, I don't spend a lot of money on silver, and I'm not really a big time investor. I've only got a couple $100 in everything that I own. But I think that it's interesting, and I like to collect them. So every few months I'll start browsing on the web and seeing what's available, and especially if an interesting bar or two are out there, I'll make an order. So let's start with a couple of copper pieces that I got, just not as an investment, just as a paperweights. You see, often these websites will make you order a minimum amount, so like $100, and that way they'll ship things to you free, and they won't even accept an order that's less than that. So often I have to throw like $1 or $2 worth of copper on there just to reach that threshold. This shows you that I'm not really into spending a lot of money on this. So anyway, I saw these copper bars and got them as paperweights, and I can't remember how much they were, like $5 or $7 each. And you can see that they're already like tarnishing a bit from use, and I really love them. They're the perfect weight, 1 pound each. And incidentally, I'll show you the other paperweights that I use. Here's a nice square one I got recently near Mammoth Cave, Kentucky. And I also have this one that I ordered from Amazon. And I have this one, which has an insect there embedded in the acrylic block. So that's, and I use them all the time. Alright, also in the copper department, I got this crocodile, and he is like seated on a pile of treasure, saying, "Don't mess with me." Unfortunately, my camera's not that good. It's just an iPod, so it's really hard to get these masterful details on camera, but I love that crocodile. Crocodilio. Now we have this interesting piece. The author of the Conan stories has passed away a few years ago, so now they're releasing Conan the Barbarian pieces. And other like fantasy personalities from his tales. So once again, sort of a low quality representation on your screen at the moment, but this is the author there. And they're nice looking pieces. I'm a big Conan fan. I've read some of the stories and some of the comics also. And he's got, you can't really tell, but there's like a skull looming in the background. That's it for the copper, and now we're going to move into the silver. So I'll start with the bars and move into the rounds. First of all, I picked up this Silvertown prospector with this donkey. Silver right now is at about $17, and with shipping and everything and making these these purchases of low amounts of the metal, it's going to have to skyrocket before I'll ever recoup my investment. But as I mentioned, it's just sort of fun, and I'm buying things that I suppose are going to hold their value at least. And then when I'm much, much, much older, maybe I can give them to my descendants or cash them in at that moment. So that's kind of a neat piece. Also, I have this Asahi bar, which I think is really stunning. My favorite silver to collect are the bars, and especially the ones that have like designs on the back. And you can tell, like, this is just so stimulating to me. I'm a big fan. Asahi purchased Johnson Matthey, which was this is nice. It's not tarnished at all yet. So just as an example here, this is a Johnson Matthey bar I got long ago, and you can tell that they're very, very similar. The design and everything. These like recurring or repeated themes on the back, it just does it for me for some reason. All right. I also got a Republic Metals Corporation bar. There I am. And on the back we have this repeating scheme. Unfortunately, in an earlier order, I got this round. We're moving into rounds now. And on the back, you can see this repeating pattern that was the pattern on the bars before they were like republished. So I kind of wish that I had matching ones with this same repeating pattern on the back here. But this one's serviceable too. I like it. You can see my desk and bed in the background. But something about like the reason I started buying the rounds was mostly because they kind of matched their bar counterparts, but I still like it. It just is amazing to me how nice these pieces look. Okay, the next round we're going to feature is this one from the Royal Mint Refinery. And it has an eagle there over a couple of flags of both America and Britain. So just a serviceable, unadorned round in a lot of ways. Stylish. Okay. Now I have a pair of sports-related rounds that I thought were very interesting. We have both a basketball and a soccer ball, or a football ball, for those in the rest of the world. And living here in Kentucky, we have a very prominent basketball team everyone is really wild for, the Wildcats. These rounds drew my attention because they're concave. I think that's right, convex. We're going to go with concave. And we have the balls here entering their respective hoops and targets. But many years ago, I don't know, 5 years ago, the National Mint in America released a baseball, which was very, very similar to this. These, I think, are published by the Monarch Precious Metals Company. But the baseball one was out of my price range. They were sold. They sold for a hefty amount. But I loved that concave thing, and so now there's other ones on the market. The market is always going to have offerings for us, isn't it? So a basketball and a football. Interesting. Now, this is the only piece that I've ever received from any of these companies in one of these plastic like things. I've not even tried to open it. Doesn't even look like it's possible. But anyway, it's from Fiji, and we have on the back some humans there beside a coat of arms, and it looks like there's like some plant matter, some flora and fauna, and a ship, and some language there on the bottom. It won't be able to be picked up, but here we have a famous and iconic wave, often seen in art prints. Very nice. Hokusai, it says, the great wave. Ounce of silver, very beautiful. I need to pop it out of this thing. I've always just removed the silver that I've purchased from whatever plastic packaging that it's arrived in. And here, like I just did it right before starting this video. I just want to just have everything loose. Well, anyway, I'll try to get it out of here later, but you can see that it's very beautiful, and it makes me think of the ocean, which I'm a big fan of. And it's a splendid piece of art on its own. Ooh, trying to get it open. Guess not. Alright, the final one I'm going to show you today was on my radar for quite a while, and when I was scouring the internet for silver to purchase, it was unavailable for a time, and it really did prompt me to make one of these orders because I really, really, really wanted one. I'm a gardener by trade, and it is the New Zealand fern. It is just splendid. And on the back, we have New Zealand there, and at the top, it says, let me consult my notes, Aotearoa, which means the land of the long white cloud, roughly translated. And this is a constellation in the night sky, across, I believe. And the indigenous people of New Zealand were called the Maori, I believe. And this is some of their like iconic art in this style that would often be found on their artifacts and things. And I just really, really love it, especially that it has a fern on it. So there we have it. And also a very beautiful other side. And I'm a big fan of the pieces that have arrived for me. As I mentioned, this was 2 separate orders, and I think that my favorites, aside from this fern, I really, really like the acai bar. And I'm just a sucker for 1 ounce silver bars. I'm a fan also of this RMC bar, even though it doesn't have a repeating format on the back, and the Great Wave, of course, which is also stunning. Probably the most beautiful of all of my silver pieces. And I'm not going to be able to crack it out of its shell. I'm going to give it one more healthy attempt before I release you. It's fun. Oh, here we go. Okay, it's out of there. Okay, just stunning. Probably looks just like it did through the plastic. But almost a watery appearance to the background. So thank you for joining me today as I review these beautiful, collectible, and valuable pieces of art.